I just learned my friends believe I'm not eating on purpose and they're setting up a meeting, but I'm really keeping my illness secret since the last time I was honest. Everyone said I was faking for attention. I'm 17F and my parents split up when I was really little. My mom had me most of the time, and my dad took me during summer break. I really didn't want to go to my dad's place, partially because he was very stubborn and rude and always had to do things his way, but also because every time I went to my dad's house, I got violently sick. Nausea, rashes, pain, muscle cramps, and then when I got older, I'd start missing my periods. I went to a doctor, but he said it was a psychosomatic problem related to stress and directed me to see a therapist. My dad didn't let me see a therapist because he thought it was total bullcrap. My mom took me to one a few times, but by then my symptoms had cleared up, so we couldn't tell if it helped at all. One thing that really mad me off is that my dad ate a lot of junk food and drank soda instead of water, and he mocked me mercilessly if I tried to eat healthy. I think it reminded him of my mom because she's always been a bit of a health nut. After mom moved out, dad's eating habits got worse. He'd survive on takeout and frozen dinners, refusing anything green. At my mother's place, I consumed organic foods that sometimes made me ill, though avoiding problematic items helped. I developed habits of declining offered meals, claiming pickiness rather than explaining my reactions. Everything changed when a new student arrived at school. After months of friendship, she noticed we avoided identical foods. Her casual observation led to concern. She had celiac disease and urged me to get tested. The diagnosis explained years of suffering. My excitement about finally understanding my condition prompted me to share the news widely, but my supposed friends reacted poorly. They gradually distanced themselves, eventually admitting they believed I was fabricating illness for attention, dismissing gluten-free diets as trendy nonsense. When I tearfully explained my struggles at my father's house, my closest friend became horrified and supportive. She attempted mediating with others, but they remained skeptical, forcing us to end those friendships. My father's reaction proved even more devastating. He accused me of superiority, claiming I invented medical conditions for special treatment. Despite offering doctor visits, he dismissed physicians as fraudsters. His behavior escalated to food tampering and verbal abuse when I became ill. These experiences made me extremely cautious about disclosure. Between personal trauma and widespread mockery of gluten-free diets, I chose silence with new acquaintances. During my final summer with him, I focused on enduring 3 more weeks before permanent departure. Meanwhile, my friend and I joined a wonderful gaming group, 10 or 11 people aged 16 to 22, who met weekly for role-playing sessions since May. Yesterday, she warned me they'd been discussing my behavior privately. They'd connected my food refusals, weight loss, and illness symptoms, concluding I had anorexia and planning an intervention. Terror consumed me. I feared rejection and disbelief after previous experiences. The thought of being labeled a liar again threatened my stability. This disease had already destroyed so much. I desperately wanted one untainted aspect of life. 6 days later, Zach texted requesting I arrive early for supposed game discussions. Suspecting the intervention, I contacted Laura, my loyal friend who followed me from the previous group. She hadn't been invited, so I brought her along. I also stopped for gluten-free Chinese food, amazing vegetable fried rice from a careful establishment I'd frequented safely for years. Zach appeared startled by Laura's presence, but awkwardly agreed when I justified her involvement in our supposed gaming discussion. I asked permission to eat, explaining I'd missed lunch, then unpacked my meal. He seemed alarmed, but consented. He began his prepared speech about their concerns: my food avoidance, illness, weight loss, discomfort around meals, constant refusals. He mentioned Michael's sister's anorexia and their belief I suffered similarly. After swallowing, I denied having anorexia, but acknowledged having a different problem. When he reluctantly allowed me to explain, I carefully described my inability to process wheat, barley, and rye, detailing the severe reactions and long-term damage. I explained refusing items like chips and sandwiches prevented violent illness. I offered him various healthy options to ease back into eating. A banana, like air-popped popcorn, that he did have. So I ate some popcorn in front of him, and he finally seemed to accept what I was saying. He awkwardly changed the subject to gaming things, and we talked about that until the rest of the group started to show up. When Michael got there, Zach took him aside and started talking to him in a way that I guess they thought was subtle. They kept looking over at me, and they weren't keeping their voices down very well. Michael asked if I seemed defensive, and Zach shrugged and said, "Not really." I pointedly ate popcorn for the rest of the game. Michael texted me after the game and apologized for assuming that I was anorexic and asked what snacks they could put out for me. I actually cried a little bit. I was worried about getting kicked out, but they immediately moved to accommodating me. They're nice people, so everything worked out fine. Sorry for the anticlimax.